That's one way to deal with magical ice powers. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Zach, and in this video, I'm going to be counting down my top 3 moments from the 7th episode of Once Upon a Time. We got so much backstory and so much development on the connection between Emma and the Snow Queen in this episode. We learn about Ingrid's sisters, we witness a rather explosive interrogation process, and the episode as a whole just felt more revved up than most of the ones before now. So, let's get into it. This episode was titled The Snow Queen. The first of my top 3 moments is Robin's clashing heart between the 2 women in his life. Robin Hood goes to Regina's vault and tells her that he's still conflicted between his love for her and his dedication to Marian as his wife. She insists that he needs to forget about her and storms from her vault. Robin talks with Will Scarlet at Granny's and tells him that Marian is the reason why he steals from the rich and gives to the poor to try to better his life from the thief that he once was. One quote from this interaction that I really like from Will is, "If you find someone to ruin your life for, it's always worth it." This entices Robin to go back to the vault and tell Regina that he has lived his entire life by a code, doing good and trying to better himself the man that he was. Regina asks him why he's telling her all this. He says because this isn't one of those days, and then he full-on lip kisses her. Now, I'm not saying that this is entirely a bad thing for Robin, but seriously, that guy really needs to make a choice. Is he gonna go with his new love, or is he gonna go with his frozen wife who came back from the dead because Emma screwed up the timeline? I'd really like to see Robin find happiness with someone, because that's just the kind of person I am and the kind of show this is. I mean, Regina really wants a happy ending, and since she's turned over a new leaf, I feel she deserves it. But Robin really just needs to choose. Like, go with her, stay with Marian, that's it. Bottom line, can someone, ABC, please just stick a pin in this? We are done. The second of my top 3 moments is the Snow Queen's backstory in Arendelle. When we first see Ingrid with her 2 sisters, Helga and Gerda, they're small children flying a kite in the field. Helga and Gerda are almost kidnapped by a man in the forest when Elsa accidentally uses her magic to freeze a tree branch that falls on him, knocking him unconscious. She immediately becomes worried, but her sisters tell her that they'll help her to control it because that's what sisters do. When the girls are older, they venture to the enchanted forest to enlist Rumpelstiltskin's help to control Ingrid's magic. He gives Ingrid a pair of magical gloves that Elsa wears in Frozen, and the magical urn from that episode with Hans, in exchange for the 3 ribbons that the sisters took from the kite when they were younger to symbolize their bond. Further in the episode, we are introduced to the Duke of Weaselton, a younger version of himself from Frozen, and he attempts to kiss Ingrid while he is pretending to be in love with Helga. She ultimately freezes Helga when she is trying to stop the Duke from going and telling everyone about her magic. And when Gerda approaches, she is shocked to see her sister's frozen remains on the ground beside her sister. She calls Ingrid a monster, trapping her in the magical urn, then goes to Grandpappy and requests for a magical potion to make everyone in Arendelle forget about Ingrid and Helga. With this, I love how we get the Snow Queen's backstory, as well as why the Duke of Weaselton is so squirrely in Frozen, because he already had knowledge of Ingrid and why he says what he does in the movie. Disney is making connections with their movie to the TV show in ways that I never would have thought of. The third of my top 3 moments is when Emma really starts to experience her powers. David and Hook track the Snow Queen to the clock tower, and she is apprehended very easily. When Emma interrogates her, she plays the family and just like us cards to try to turn Emma to her side. This boils Emma over and her magic erupts, blowing a hole in the side of the police station, and the Snow Queen vanishes in a wisp of snow. Emma becomes very frightened at her own powers and flees the town in her yellow buggy after a lamppost falls on David and almost knocks him out. This is the most action we've seen in a little while, and it kind of gave me a Castle feel when Kate Beckett was talking to Vulcan Simmons about her mother's murder, and he was pushing her buttons just like Ingrid did to Emma in this episode. In the final scene, the Snow Queen is prepared to make a deal with Gold, and tells Mr. Gold that he needs something else to relieve himself of the dagger's powers. She states that Storybrooke is too small for his liking, that he wants what every villain wants, everything, and she wants to give it to him. In exchange for her ribbons, she whispers into Mr. Gold's ear what he needs to get this ultimate power. He smiles at the end and says, "That is something that I am all too happy to do." I'm really intrigued by his character, but I'm just so worried about what's gonna happen now. Is something bad gonna happen to Emma, or just all of Storybrooke? Those are my top 3 moments from the 7th episode of Once Upon a Time. With the Snow Queen's plan out in the open, and Emma getting worried about her powers, as well as her family, I'm a little hesitant to see what's going to happen in future episodes. Is Emma going to isolate herself until she can control her powers? And what's going to happen with Regina and Robin Hood? That needs to be solved, like, now. The anticipation is killing me. What do you guys think? What do you want to see? What do you think's going on? Let me know in the comments below. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to punch the like button if you enjoyed it. Share it around with your friends, hit that little subscribe button up there to be notified of all my latest videos, and comment below so we can chat. You can find me at ZachAttack on Facebook and Google+, as well as ZXK77 on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to check out my previous video in the series, you can click over that way. All of these links will be in the description below. It's been great talking to you, and I'll see you in my next video. Live to be different and be who you were born to be.